Is your tiny shower a total disaster zone? I get it. Bottles toppling, barely any space for anything, and just stepping in feels stressful. But what if I told you even the smallest shower can be surprisingly functional and even feel a little like a spa? Today I'm tackling my own minuscule shower, showing you how I organized every inch, added clever storage for all of our bottles and tools, and I even downsized some products to make it work for us. If you've ever felt defeated by a small bathroom, this transformation is going to give you some serious inspiration. Hi, I'm Christy. Welcome back to Systematic Mama. Here I love sharing practical home organization tips, simple routines, and little life hacks that make everyday living easier and more enjoyable. If you're someone who loves a tidy, functional space but doesn't want it to feel overwhelming, you're in the right place. Stick around, I'm going to show you how I turned my tiny, cluttered shower into a space that actually works. Okay, let's be real. This is what my shower looked like before. 2 tiny ledges for all of our bottles, and somehow it never felt like enough. Everything was on the floor. Every morning stepping in felt like a challenge. Bottles toppling, barely a spot for my razor or my loofah, and it just made this tiny space feel even smaller. I knew it was time for a serious upgrade. First, I invested in some smart wall-mounted caddies and shelves that actually maximize the vertical space. These shelves are a game changer. They hold all of our bottles without taking up precious ledge space. And check this out. It has hooks for our razors, loofahs, and combs. Everything has its own spot. Suddenly, the shower feels so much more functional. I've linked the ones that I'm using down in the description if you want to check them out. The next step was decluttering. I made quick decisions on expired products, empty bottles, or things we rarely use. Everything is now categorized: hair care, body care, shaving essentials, and it's placed in its designated spot. I also started decanting shampoo and conditioner into smaller bottles for my husband and I've labeled them with my label maker. Trust me, this tiny change makes a huge difference. And I love these bottles because they're square and they fit on these little shelves perfectly. And I got these ones on Amazon, and I'll link the ones that I'm using below. And I try to follow the 1 in and 1 out rule so it stays this way long term. But functionality isn't everything. I wanted it to feel inviting too. So I swapped in a bright shower curtain to make the space feel bigger, and I added a tiny plant for a spa-like vibe. It's amazing how small touches can completely change the feel of a tiny bathroom. Everything has its place, and the shower feels calm, functional, and actually enjoyable to use. To keep it this way, I have a simple daily check. I put things back where they belong, and I toss any empty bottles. Simple, but it works. I'd love to hear about your own tiny bathroom victories or challenges. Share them in the comments. I always love seeing how you make small spaces work for you. If you enjoyed this transformation, click here for even more simple systems to simplify family life.